back, guys, to another episode of the podcast. We got a little more interaction in the last two videos. And by a little more action, we got two guys chatting. We appreciate you.
He's really excited that you guys are actually talking to us now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most, interaction. I mean, I think we had a few other videos that people may have said something.
Yeah.
But that was really good. I liked watching it. So hopefully you guys are still watching us, getting these episodes out. Anyways, today we're kind of sitting down. We decided we had a little range day today. Didn't get to film. We had some issues with the cows.
Yeah, that was super depressing. Like we were, I was sighting in my rifle, making sure it was on, which it wasn't on. Trying to get it back onto 0, and then the cows got right behind the target and they would not move.
Yeah. So
move.
No, but yeah, we had range day today. Definitely need some cleaning and everything. But we got thinking, we have 223. We had a 223 with us, a 6.8 SPC, 9mm, 22, 308, 6.5 Creedmoor. What else do we have with us?
That was it. We could have brought more.
Yeah.
I was thinking about bringing my 12 gauge out today because I haven't shot it in 5 years. So,
yeah. So we had a shit ton of stuff out there with us. I mean, not compared to Demo Ranch and others, but we had a pretty wide variety. So we got to kind of thinking, how many calibers or how many different caliber rifles that someone owns? How much is too much, or is there even a limit? So we decided
there's no such thing as too much.
We decided to talk with y'all, and that's what I was gonna say. I mean, I agree. So the way I see it is if you're starting out, new gun owner, I say you don't own one firearm, and you go to buy a firearm. You buy you a 223 AR, because that's probably gonna be one of your most common first.
Or like a 9mm or a 22.
Yeah. But like I'm saying, like rifle, I know people and I know people. We know people that they're like, oh, I want an AR. Like, that's like people who don't necessarily have experience in rifles or guns in general.
Yeah.
Everyone wants an AR. And majority of your ARs at the stores are 223 because it's just such a popular round, easy to find, cheaper.
It was very plentiful.
Yeah, which that box I bought today was $30 for 20 rounds.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing too, is ammo availability and pricing.
Yeah.
Because I bought a box of 308 earlier this week, and it was $45 a box.
Damn.
And I was like, it's not the cheapest stuff, but it's also not the most expensive.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing though. Is so in my opinion, which tell me what you think. I think when you're first buying a gun, okay, say I buy this AR 223. I think when you go to buy your second rifle, it would be smart to probably have it in the same caliber, just starting out your collection, because if you get into a specialty caliber or another caliber, anything that's not the same caliber, and you're just getting into the gun world, then you got to worry about buying different ammo,
See, I think the opposite. I think the opposite way.
Why? Because broaden your horizons?
No, it's not even broaden your horizons. It's like the whole thing during COVID. Like, everybody and their mother owns an AR.
Yeah.
But not as many people are buying 308, for example.
Well, my thought behind it is you're a new gun owner. It's already a very...
Yeah.
Intimidating thing.
Yeah, it's a very intimidating thing to get. Am I getting the right stuff? I agree on that point.
Yeah, did I bring the right ammo?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, you have 2 suppressors now.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, I didn't bring mine today.
As you can see, he brought a suppressor.
Just not the right one.
Yeah. And that's just, It's
on my home defense gun. And I just didn't even think about unscrewing it because I was like, oh, it's in the box. It's in my closet.
And it may sound stupid behind my thought, but it is a simple thing. Like, for instance, he has 2 different suppressors, he didn't have the right one to fit his QD mount. Sort of like your caliber. You're just getting into gun stuff. You go to the gun range. I brought 5 boxes of 223, but I accidentally grabbed my AR-10 308.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
And
and then it ruined your day.
Yeah, and then it ruined your day.
It didn't ruin my day. It ruined your day because you were like, oh,
I had to wear Air Pro the whole time. But I'm still for the side of there is no such thing as too many calibers.
I do think there is a certain limit though. Like if you're not, I'm gonna say like really well off, like Demo Ranch or like any of the gun guys on YouTube, like people are sending you ammo and up to that point.
Yeah, there
is a certain limit because like I'm doing a quick thing. I have a 6 ARC, 6 Creed, 6.8, 5.56, 308, 300 Blackout, 12 gauge. I think I have a couple 22s, 9 mil, 45. So that's 9 or 10, calibers right there. And then if you're like, I'm not the wealthiest person, but then I have to decide what ammo do I want to purchase.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say.
I think there is a limit. Because then you get into specific calibers like 6.8. Not many places sell it, so sometimes it's hard to find.
Well, that's what I was going to say too, though, is especially starting out new and
kind of like 308 because it's everywhere.
Kind of like what you're saying is, you're trying to stock up on ammo.
Yeah,
and instead of buying
10 different calibers versus you get there's two sides. There's two thought processes for me. Is like there's no such thing as too many, and then but there is a line that like, because like you get into like Demo Ranch, he has hundreds of guns, and let's say like theoretically they're half of them are 5.56 and the rest of them are just random calibers. You have to buy ammo for every single gun, and
when you stock up, it can make it harder to stock up too, because you may buy 5 boxes of 223 for however much, wherever you live, how much it's going for. You buy 5 boxes of those, and then you only have X amount of money left, but it only buy you 1 box of 6.8 or 6.5.
Yeah.
For instance, a box of 6.5 runs me around $45 to $50 something dollars.
It's kind of like the 308.
I can buy a lot of 223 for that.
Yeah, especially for what we're doing with 223, 5.5. Even the hunting ammo, it's not super expensive.
Yeah,
but you're not going to shoot a deer with it. But
no.
There's so many different ways of thinking about this.
So I would say there's too many calibers. So where I agree with there could be too many calibers is as far as people who inventing new calibers.
Yeah. Thanks, Hornady.
Yeah.
Q.
Yeah.
You're in there too, buddy.
That's
Kevin.
Thing. There can be, because if you start to, what's the word?
It's a very like when you start making calibers for a niche market, it makes it confusing for new consumers.
Well, I
think
when you start to, what's the word? Not necessarily broad or broaden, but when you start to put so many different options out there, and then like for instance, Hornady, eventually they're gonna. It's better. Oh God, why can't I think of it? Oh,
here in the next 5 years, they're gonna reinvent 5.56.
Well, that's the thing is,
it's my opinion on it.
I am stumbling on what I'm trying to say. Oh, quality is better than quantity. So you throwing out a bunch of rounds and putting your time, research into inventing these new rounds. Well, for instance, the 300 Blackout or 8.6 Blackout. 8.6 Blackout is probably a better example for what I'm about to say. Instead of inventing the next 300 Blackout or the next 8.6, you could make that round better. You could, change a little bit different on it, perfect it. You know what my perfect example is? My favorite caliber.
2250.
Yep.
Then you got 22 ARC that just came out. That is supposedly, I've never seen one. I've never even seen it. I lied. I've seen ammo for it one time at Cabela's, and I'm thinking, who is actually buying? I've never seen a gun in 22 ARC.
Well, that's my thing. So 2250, they
tried and true.
You don't typically see it in semi-automatic platform because it doesn't like to cycle well in a semi-automatic platform. That's like one of the biggest issues. So in my opinion, instead of coming out with 20 new calibers that are the 22-250 killer, which I've yet to see one, in my opinion, that is 22-250 killer. I know there's plenty of podcasts out there with guys probably 20 times smarter with ballistics than I am, but in my opinion, instead of coming out with 20 new calibers to beat this one caliber, put your time and research into that 22-250 and how you can perfect it to work for
like the actual
platform.
And then you can also do like bullet technology. Yeah. So, and I figured this out with Hornady, which, you know, it's good for them. I love what Hornady does.
Yeah.
But they design and manufacture bullets for their calibers. So like they have what's that new varmint? It's like the ELD VT or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like their long range varmint bullet.
Yeah.
It's like a 70 something grain 5.5 or 20. It's like a 22 cal.
Yeah.
You can't put that in a 22-250 because most 22-250s don't have like the barrels. They won't be able to stabilize it. That's like the issue. So
because of the twist rate.
Yeah, the barrel twist is it's too slow.
Muzzle velocity.
Yeah, and then you know I've got that Bergara 22-250 which has a little bit faster twist rate, so I may test it, but the bullets are so expensive.
Well,
so,
that's one thing I will say about 22-250 that is good, is that they have. I mean, just like any caliber, you have different loads, different speeds. So, for instance, that Varmint Express I have, it's 4,000 feet per second coming out muzzle velocity.
Is it?
Yeah. This box you can see in the video right now.
Oh, it's Super Performance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is 4,000 feet per second.
Yeah, Super Performance, Varmint, Hornady. You know, 4,000 feet per second. It's some wicked technology that they did with the VMAX. 4,000 feet per second versus, I think, my core lock is
probably about 35, 36.
Yeah.
So, but I don't use the Super Performance. I use the it's just it's the Varmint Express.
Yeah.
And it's like 36.
Yeah. So I've never shot that way. Do I have any spit? No. So I haven't actually shot this yet.
Is it 55 grain?
50.
Okay.
Yeah, at 100 yards, it's 100 yards. It should be 3/4 of an inch high to be dead on at 200.
Yep.
Which I think my core lock is 1.5 inches high, is what it says in the box.
That I don't believe anything on the box.
Well, I'm just saying compared.
Oh, okay.
To you know what it's saying on here, and then only 4.3 inch drop at 300.
Yeah. So, like with like 22 ARC, because we're on the 22-250, 22 ARC, 22 Creed stuff.
22 calibers.
Yeah. The new stuff by Hornady, Creedmoor, and ARC, and all that, like both of those specifically, they're designed for the heavier bullets in mind.
Yeah.
So it keeps its velocity out farther. But, and you know that's like reaching hunting limits past what they have been in the past. That's what they're going for. They're going for like the 800-yard coyote shot. You know,
yeah. Well, because they know
screaming fast and it's keeping its velocity out to 800. That's what they're going for.
We have rifles now and scopes, optics, that it's easier for people to confidently do that.
Yeah. No, and yes, I agree. But to like the new shooter or like the average shooter, I'm not even going to say like maybe a little bit above average. You're not going to need a 22 Creed out to 800 yards to kill a coyote.
What I'm saying though is the reason they're developing those kind of rounds is just because the technology of firearms has came so far.
Yeah, and then I think it was in one of the Hornady podcasts when they were talking about it. They said like 22-250, they're like that whole range when those calibers were made was all about speed, like as fast as you can push this thing down the barrel. I think they call it overbore, where it's like, you know, a 4,000 feet per second bullet going out of a barrel. That's insane. Versus like 22 ARC, Creed, whatever, it's going maybe 3,000, and it's getting better performance at distance compared to 22-250.
Yeah. My main thing with 22 to 50, I can't wrap my head around is why they can't make it work in an AR platform.
I'll show you after.
Yeah.
I'll explain it quickly because I actually did research on it because I know somebody else that this is their favorite caliber and they want an AR-10 in it, but it won't work. So, the quickest way to explain this possible, it's
the casing.
It's not the casing; it's the bullet length, and then because it has to deal with a bunch of pressure and stuff involved with it. So that bullet, from what the research I looked at, that bullet's going way too fast through the barrel to actually have enough pressure to push a bolt back. So you, have you heard the term dwell time?
No.
So dwell time is the time the bullet is in between the gas block and the end of the muzzle. That's the pressure that you need to cycle the bolt. That bullet is way too fast and there's not enough pressure.
Yeah, that makes sense. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah. But back to is there such thing as too many calibers?
Yeah, so sticking to like what I'm saying about, I think certain amount of times we need to perfect calibers instead, because it seems like now every new caliber is advertised as the new 22 250 or the new the 308 killer or the 6.5 killer. It just seems like everything that comes out now is supposedly the killer of another car.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Nothing's going to beat 308. Ever. Because
Yeah.
308's God's caliber, buddy. That and 45 ACP.
See, you say that, but for me...
Yours is 22 250, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the viewers and listeners understand that your caliber is 22 250.
I just think, especially in Texas, I mean, 2250 kill anything in Texas. 243 kill anything in Texas.
If you had kind of out west, 22 250 is not as lethal. When you get into the bigger class mule deer,
But that's because
but then it's shot placement and all that other kind of stuff. But if you just want pure knockdown power, anything west of Abilene it's almost useless.
see, that's always been me and my dad's argument, because his favorite caliber
270.
270.
Yeah,
and he's, I mean he has two Remington 788s, I believe. Yeah, that are 243s. That's his most used rifle when we hunt and everything. But he loves that 270 because that knockdown power. But for me, I never worry about knockdown power. I mean, that's why I didn't buy a 308 until last year.
Well, and especially like the region that we're in, where the whitetails, they don't get super super big. Like, and I don't mean antler size. I mean actual body size,
body mass, and
yeah. Because like what the deer that you killed this year, how many pounds do you think it was? Maybe 130, 120. Maybe less.
No, I mean he's probably around that.
Because then there's like whitetails in like Iowa, which I think that'd be really cool to go to a hunt in Iowa, just because the whitetails are massive because there's a lot of corn. Those deer get up to like 225, 250.
Yeah, I mean Texas definitely has, which has to do with our vegetation here. Everything's drier, smaller. They don't.
It also depends which region of Texas you're in too, because there are whitetail that are massive further.
Oh yeah, you go more up North Texas, like
I think Abilene's a good spot to say, because that's kind of, there's water there, there's good vegetation, a lot of farmland, and it's not so far west where there's not a whole lot of water.
Yeah,
and it's less populated. That's probably the bigger part, because we're at Central Texas. There's so many people that hunt, like. There's not a lot of places that get big deer just because they kill them every year.
Yeah, and especially when you go down South Texas. South Texas, those are some small deer, and they're freaking smart. I mean, they'll hear you drawing back your bow.
And then East Texas is the same way, and like the pine.
Well, that's because
piney woods.
That's because they got them crazy backwood Cajuns chasing them.
Yeah.
But no.
Some Cajun food sounds good right now, dude.
Oh, some crawfish.
Oh, dude, it's almost season.
Yeah. Go to Tajin.
Mm-hmm. Do it yourself.
I don't know. You kind of got me hungry now. But no, yeah. So like for instance, Hunter's got the 6.8 SPC. There's just some rounds now that I feel like.
And I'm gonna be honest. I don't think many people like unless you're really interested in buying a 6.8. There's no reason to buy a 6.8 because you can go like I'm not gonna say 5.5. I'd even say 300 blackout. Like if you're shooting within 100 yards and you have a full length rifle, 300 blackout, I think it'll do just as much damage as that, and you can find ammo way easier than 6.8. I buy it whenever I see it because I don't care what the price is because I can't ever find it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like for instance, 243 is pretty common, and
that's hard to find too. And 22-250.
Oh yeah, well 22-250 is kind of on the rise again. It's getting easier, but
varmint hunting is getting popular again.
Oh yeah, Yodis.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a lot of the big time YouTube videos. That's all you're seeing is Yodi hunting.
Mm-hmm.
But for instance, I'll probably never buy a 243. I don't know. I say that.
See,
but I have my 22-250 to do just as good a job.
See, I was gonna get a 243 for the old lady because, it's a mild recoil. It's flat shooting. You can just point and shoot, and you can pretty much kill any deer in this area. And I had a friend convince me not to get a 243 and to do the 6 arc because you can get the bigger bullets at the same velocity.
Yeah, the 6 arc's that souped up.
It's not even really souped up. It's just it's designed different. Like it has a different. Like it's one of those things that we were talking about where it's not.
It's got more powder behind it, don't it?
No, if anything, it's got less. You can stick it in an AR. You can't stick a 243 in an AR. 243 is like AR-10.
That's what I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't think I've seen many 243.
They're out there. They're just not very common.
Yeah.
Who the hell would want to get an AR-10 and 243? But then they make the 6 arc and the 6 Creedmoor. I'd probably say 6 Creedmoor is probably more comparable to it. It's the heavier bullets. They shoot flatter. They hit harder at the same distances for 243.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's getting harder. Like from what I've seen, looking at the shelves for ammo, it's harder to find 243.
Yeah, my dad. About the only time he ever finds 243 now is Academy, I think.
But guess what? 2 calibers are still really easy to find, and they're older than shit.
308
and
223.
No, 270.
Oh yeah.
No one's made. Damn boy, she's thick. No, but no one has made the advanced 270 yet. You can go like 270 like Ackley improved, I guess is a good way of saying it. But that's a very niche thing, and ammo is impossible to find, and it's extremely expensive when you find it. But like the 6.8 Western, I guess is the competitor, but that didn't blow up like Browning / Winchester thought it would. Major manufacturers aren't making it. So,
well, see, that's what kind of.
But I was all for it because it's a 270 just souped up.
That's what kind of gets to where it can be too many calibers sometimes is the availability when you, especially when they're coming out with all these new niche calibers like
224 Valkyrie. It's another good example.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that on the shelf.
I've seen it on the shelf. I worked at the gun store. I've seen a lot of oddball calibers on the shelf. That's like, who buys this? And then it just disappears.
Because a guy at work has a 22 or a Valkyrie, like you're saying, and I don't think I've ever seen. I don't know where he gets his ammo. He may have to order it online. I
think I saw some at Cabela's or Academy. I don't remember which one. I'm pretty sure I saw it.
I could see, Cabela's,
but I've only seen Federal make it. Like it's only in the gold box from Federal.
Which I tried out some Federal today.
that stuff smacked, dude. It was good stuff.
Yeah, I've never used anything other than Remington core lock for my 2250, or for my never mind. 223. I've actually used a bunch of different things. Basically anything. I think most of my 223 that I've shot has always been Winchester, the white box.
For the what?
223.
I do the Hornady Frontier stuff because it's like their more mil spec stuff.
Is that the one that's got Frontier in big lettering on front? Well, I know like it says Frontier.
Probably, yeah. It's red, red and
Frontier?
blue. And it's like a cardboard box.
No way, I'm not thinking of this. The one I'm thinking of is like gray with black lettering, or black with gray. I can't remember.
So there's like the Winchester, the black box with silver lettering.
Mm.
I don't know what that is. That silver tip? It might be.
I couldn't Google it. Yeah, it might be. I don't know.
Because Frontier's like the cardboard color. Because it's like I think it's like their mil spec line.
Yeah, like a tan.
Yeah.
Does it have a big target on the front?
No.
No, I'm thinking of match.
Yeah, I got a box of it in the truck.
Yeah.
So. But, yeah. Let's kind of wrap this bitch up. Are there too many calibers?
My answer's no.
I think there is too many calibers. But not in a bad way. Because I think if you're gonna bring let's say like me, like I'm not really I'm not really an avid hunter, but I want to get into it. And you're gonna recommend 243 or 22-250 or 270 or something like that because it's a classic.
It can be intimidating when you're first starting out,
especially when you're starting out because
then
because you're gonna see 50 different options. You're not going to know what the right thing is.
Yeah, because something's going to pique your interest. You're going to see 223, and you're going to be like, man, 223, a lot of people use it. That's the one I'm going to go with. And then all of a sudden, ooh, what is 8.6 or what is 6.8 SPC or 6 Creed?
Yeah.
And then
it just gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
But if you know what you're looking for, then I think it's easier to there's like the classic cartridges. You go 308, 30-06, 270, 22, 250, 243, 25-06. Like you get those, but then you get like the modern stuff where it's the 6mm Creed, all the PRCs, all the ARCs, 8.6 blackout. Like you get a bunch of other options. It makes it, especially now, very overwhelming. But like 20 years ago, it would have been easy. Like, 270, it's flat shooting, whatever. 22-50, it's good for varmints.
308.
Yeah.
That's what they use in the movies. I hear about 308 all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think there's too many options for new people. But if you're interested in getting into other guns besides 5.56 or 9mm, then expand your options. Don't put all your eggs in one basket because I'm thinking like shit hits the fan situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like when COVID hit, it was impossible to find 5.56 for a solid 2 months.
Oh yeah, because everybody hits that panic phase and they start buying up.
Yeah, but then if you don't put all your eggs in one basket, let's say you have a 5.56, a 6.5 Creed, a 308, a 9mm 45, 300 blackout. You're like, okay, well if I see this, I'm going to get it, but if not, I'll get this one instead.
Yeah.
So you're not just saying yes. Do I think there's too many options? Yes. I think there's way too many options.
Yeah, I would agree.
Hornady, stop coming out with new shit every 6 months.
Yeah.
Please.
And stop telling me it's the caliber to beat.
I don't know, that 338 ARC looks pretty sick.
I haven't seen that one. I don't think I've seen that.
It's to compete with 8.6 blackout. You can put it in AR-15 platform.
It's basically a 338 and a really lot smaller casing.
Yep. You put an AR-15 instead of an AR-10.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say there is too many calibers in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, until next time, stay safe.
Stay active.
and enjoy the outdoors.